the basic idea of all of this is to have foster a generation of problem solving. Right now, it's all about really upscaling and reskilling more than ever before.
So today we have with us Joyeeta, who is a corporate citizenship professional with a unique experience of working in government and non-governmental organizations, multilateral funding agencies, and corporates on primarily improving the quality of education in both K-12 and higher education. At her current role at IBM, she leads education, skilling initiatives, driving high-quality digital citizenship and integration with multiple education stakeholders to improve 21st century learning and professional development skills. Thank you so much for joining us, Joyeeta. It's a pleasure having you. So just to set the context, so what according to you would constitute the 21st century skills?
So I would think that the most important skill right now, is problem solving skill, right? We've talked about critical thinking, creativity, all of that. There's the new buzzword is design thinking, of course, or design thinking right from high school. But I think the basic idea of all of this is to have foster a generation of problem solvers. So, whether they go into a workforce or they come up and create jobs, I think problem solving is the most important key skill right now from high school to workforce.
Definitely. And now talking about your current role, so as a part of IBM and its varied initiatives that you're heading and running, so how are you ensuring that the skills are able to reach the students? And now more than ever when the classes cannot happen offline, so everything has shifted online, so which is another expertise that IBM has. So how do you make sure that the skills reach the students?
Right. As you rightly said that IBM is indeed a technology leader. And I'm really happy to share with you that all our engagements with government and, government-aided schools in large-scale, operations that we have done and supported in CSR in the last few years, nothing came to a grinding halt. We figured out that we could do an online engagement, whether it was building a community, whether it was a platform, whether it was giving them access to something. I think whether it was with CBSC, whether it was Ministry of Skill, that whole engagement, online workshops. We've also done online summer camps with ATL schools. So we've partnered with the right government anchor partners and all our implementation partners together there to strengthen that piece so that the online community and engagement remains.
Wonderful. And another aspect of IBM, like I mentioned, is technology, that it is already a leader in the space. So how does that expertise transcend into the learning initiatives and enrich the same?
You're right. So, right now it is all transactional, all that you're seeing, the learning and teaching experience, or even the format that the teachers have so relentlessly put their effort. Governments have put their effort. A lot of, corporations, education service providers have put their efforts into this. Now, what we have done as far as our, learning platforms are concerned, we've extended that into two folds. One, in November, even, with Ministry of Skill, we launched something called SkillsBuild. And that was to give access to a lot of ITIs across the country, what we call as new collar skills. So that transcended to the next step with this lockdown and all of this, period where the schools are shut, the offices are kind of operating at really minimal effort and support, and all of this. So we extended the SkillsBuild platform, which was basically a learning platform by invitation managed by an NPO or an NGO partner. We opened it up as an open academy, as an open platform. So, anyone can really access, and we launched it 2 weeks back in India. It's called Reignite, SkillsBuild Reignite. And it has 30 hours of learning that anybody can really reach out and gain. right? So their knowledge, their skills, and of course, leading to a digital badge. Because right now it's all about really upskilling and reskilling
Exactly.
more than ever before.
Okay. And like you mentioned about this SkillsBuild initiative of yours, which is majorly the modules that you're offering online to students to pursue skills in specific domains. So the online space already is filled with a lot of courses that are available for free and modules that students can go through. Yet the motivation to leave them midway is, high among the students, considering either the content is not up to the mark or the whole process is not engaging enough for them. So how would you say that you at IBM have kind of, tackled that issue of converting the content or the module into interesting enough entity that a student can engage with for a longer period of time?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely right. I mean, it's not really like a Me Too sort of a learning experience or even a platform or an academy, if that's, open. What we are trying to focus on is keep enhancing the value proposition for our learners, for even the faculty, the teachers, any other sort of mid-career skilling, right? We've opened it up to also small and medium enterprise owners,
Okay.
if they have to really enhance any of these stack solutions that are there offered to them. So I think I have about 4 models which are kind of working great. One is the university outreach model. One is the government model, which, whether it's the ITIs or any other systems, which is directly controlled and managed by the government stakeholders. The third is NGO model, where a lot of NGOs have their livelihood programs and, skilling initiatives. So we've partnered with them to delve into that ecosystem together. And, so the government, NGO, and entrepreneurs and university. These are the 4 ecosystem or outreach models that we are saying that needs skilling, needs to look at skilling differently, creating digital CVs, getting access to employment, helping them through coaching. So the second tier or layer of value proposition becomes coaching. And coaching can happen one-on-one and also in group. But what means is there are lots of IBMers as volunteers and mentors, who come up and support this. For example, right now, as we talk, there is an ongoing 10 weeks innovation skills camp that is happening. So there's a set of 35 students who have been mentored and paired with about 20 IBMers on design thinking approach. And through that, they have to come up with a project that will help solve a problem. So these are value propositions or uniqueness of our platform and learning experience. And it's not just a platform out there, which, you can just give it an access and shut it.
Definitely. So that's really well put. And going forward, I would just like to know that considering that you've already worked with government institutions, the NGOs that you mentioned, and other educational institutes as well, and even are engaging your own employees in the volunteering work for the courses. So what would you say is the difference in approach of all these entities when it comes to skilling? And how do you see them taking it forward?
I think, the new mantra more than ever before is collaboration. You cannot work in isolation anymore in this new format of living and working. We have to work together. If somebody brings their strength, core strength, we need to leverage. We need to focus on something else who brings in some other core strengths. And we need to collaborate and really co-create things and not do anything in isolation.
Definitely. And just to close the conversation, so how do you see the post-COVID demand for specific skill sets, and how is IBM dealing with creating say courses around it or figuring out new possibilities in those domains?
Yeah. So, in November when we launched and we did a kickoff with Ministry of Skill in February across all the ITIs, we had about a couple of learners because, the world was open to various others. Kids, students were still going to their institutes and so on and so forth. And I think by March, we had about over 12 8,000 learners, and now it's crossed about, close to 20,000 learners, with about 80 to 90 hours of learning experience that they all are seeking, right? So that's something that has really changed, because it's on demand, right? You on demand want to learn something which is of value to you. You come to some platform, some organization, NGO, government, corporation, it doesn't matter. You come with that and you really are seeking. So students also have made those choices. Teachers have facilitated and enabled them, and the government are probably thinking of, really high level policy changes which will impact and have a great social impact with technology. I think that's something that is changing, that collaboration part in this world.
Great. And lastly, I just wanted to ask another question about, so say, since you mentioned that a lot of students are already engaged in your programs, so what would you say is the most sought after course or skill that they are looking for? And on the other hand, the corporates that you already have partnered with for, say, the courses and then getting the people also skilled there. So what skills are the corporates looking at? So what are the both ends looking at in terms of skills?
So there are a couple of things which are technical, pure technical, like right from cybersecurity to AI to cloud to blockchain. Those are specific technology skills and enhancements that students are going for or teachers are going for. But there are also 21st century professional essential skills, core skills that people are looking at. For example, working in a team, collaboration, communication, design thinking, right? So those are quite in demand. Web development as a full stack of 120 hours or so is quite in demand. In addition, because of the reignite, skills will reignite, opening it up to even the small and medium sized entrepreneurs and organizations, we are giving them digital marketing, digital strategy, help in legal and financial and business modeling. So we are helping them to understand what's going on in their part of the world so that their relevance can be much more than ever before.
Definitely. So that brings us to the close of the conversation. Thank you so much for joining us.